Good morning students, welcome back for online classes. I hope that you have done very fine in grammar. So you understood that how to just give the exam online. Now we are just going to prepare for the second term examination and second term portion. So if examination is held in the same way, so you have an idea how to face the exam. But if exam everything is fine, if examination is held in the way of the traditional way, so you have the better option to communicate your teacher well face to face in a class also. So I hope for best the same way, the traditional way. Fine. Now just I am going to begin the chapter for the second term, first chapter, finite and non-finite verbs. Okay students. So the chapter name is finite and non-finite verb. Non-finite verb. Clear students? So the chapter is finite and non-finite verb. The first thing, you understand the part of the finite and non-finite, this is the part of the verb. So first you understand what is the finite verb. Okay, and meanwhile I will also tell non-finite also. Fine. Finite. So finite verb means the verb which changes. The verb which changes according subject or according tense. Finite means changing. Okay. So the verb which change or it depends on subject and the tense. And if the subject is singular, then verb singular. If subject is the plural, then verb plural. If if the statement is given the tense, tense is given past, present, future, so according the verb changes. Understand now? So such kind of the verb is known as a finite verb. What is known? Finite verb. Finite verb means the verb which change. Okay, let's see one example for you. If I say I want to write a letter. I want to write a letter. This is the one example. Next, she wants to write a letter. This is the second example. And third, she wanted to write a letter. Students, I have written here 3 examples. Now you just see. And how many verbs are here? If you see the verbs here. So see, the first part here, want. Want is the verb. And there is another verb also, write. Clear na? So want is also verb and write is also verb. In the second example, see, wants, this is the verb, and write, this is also the verb. Write, wrote it, written. Want, wanted, we write now. So verb which you can add the second form, third form, that is known as a main verb here. See, third again, wanted, write. So let's see the first example. I want to write a letter. In this example, what you say? Want and write. This is the verb. This is the verb. Wants and write. Again, this is the verb. Wanted and write. This is again the verb here. I have indicated we. We means verb here. Clear? See, I want to write a letter. So want I have written. Why? Because the subject is I. Okay? Subject is I. For the I we use want. I want to write a letter. Now see, in second example, she wants to write a letter. Here, see, I have added S. Can you tell why? Why S is added in want? Here wants. In the first example want and second example wants. Why wants is here? Yes, the thing is that because the subject is third person, she, and for the she, he, she, we add s here. So that's why here wants. Clear now? So it means the verb agrees according the subject. Fine. And now come to the third. She wanted to write a letter. Now see, this statement is given in simple past tense. Now she wanted, ed form comes in the simple past tense, and wants to write a letter, this is given in present tense. So it means here the statement is change of the tense. So statement is change. So that's why, see, subject is the same. She is here. But the what is the other thing? Other thing is here that statement, one statement is given in the simple present and second statement is given as simple past. So according the tense, verb has been changed here. So that's why here wanted, because simple past will use second form. So what we understood, that want, wants, wanted, everywhere it is changed. So here wants is given because the subject is she. Here wanted is given because the tense is simple past. So same thing. Again I just want to say the same thing. The verb which changes according the tense, the verb which changes according the tense are the verb which changes according the subject. See, according the subject it is changed want and wants according the subject, and here according the tense. Simple present and simple past. So the verb which changes according the subject, the verb which changes according the tense, those verbs are known finite verb. Those verbs are known finite verb. Is it clear? Finite verb? Finite verb means the verb which is changes. Understand now? So this is the finite verb. So I have just write FV, finite verb. Again I am writing FV, finite verb. Fine now? Is it clear? Finite verb understood now? Finite verb means the verb which is changed according subject or according tense. Now see the one more verb is here. I want to write a letter, write is here. She wants to write a letter, write is here. She wanted to write a letter, write is here. So what we find? Write. Is there any change? No change. See, subject is changed here, tense is also changed, but write, every, all three examples, the verb is the same, constant, no changes. So the verb which does not change according subject, the verb which does not change according tense, those verbs are known non-finite verb. Understood now? So non-finite means not change. The verb which does not change according subject or according tense, those verbs are known as non-finite. Fine? Understood now finite and non-finite? So there is a need to do the revision now. Clear? Now finite. Now just I am going to start you the kinds of non-finite verb. Is it clear, students? So finite verb is only one thing. Is it now over? Finite verb is over. Now non-finite, I am just going to start non-finite here. So non-finite. Non-finite, see. Right. It is exhausted. Non-finite. If we talk about the non-finite, so non-finite usually it has three parts. Clear, students? It has three parts. So here I am just writing the kinds of non-finite. First is infinitive. Infinitive. First is infinitive. Second is gerund. And third is participle. Infinitive, gerund and participle. All three are the parts of the non-finite verb. Understand, students? So one by one we studied here. Infinitive means whenever we use the verb first form. Means verb first form comes. And to also comes. That is known infinitive. Clear? See, here all in 3 examples I have written the example of infinitive. To write, to write, to write. So our first form is here na, right is the first form, and 2 is also here, 2 is also here. Clear? So these are known as a infinitive. Infinitive can be added with the 2 and without 2. That is, without 2 comes, that is no space. You know, infinitive. So verb first form is compulsory in infinitive. So what is compulsory? First form, infinitive. Understand na? In non-finite, the first part is known as a infinitive. Second part is known as a gerund. Second kind of the verb is known as a gerund. Gerund means here verb ing. Verb ing, but work as a noun. Gerund. And now comes the third part, participle. Participle is also part of the ing form or verb third form. Clear? So verb third form means that verb third form or verb ing form. Clear? Verb third form or verb ing form is known as a participle. Participle work as a adjective. Clear? Participle works even all those are the parts of the verb, but their places are different. Means usually you will get the confusion in a gerund and the participle. So the key point is the gerund. Gerund works as a noun and participle works as an adjective. Clear? So what do you understand? Finite verb, the verb which changes. Clear? Is it over now? Now we are just going to study about the non-finite. So non-finite, I taught you that non-finite, there are 3 parts of the non-finite. First is known infinitive, second is known gerund, and third is known participle. Infinitive means verb first form is infinitive. So these are the examples of infinitive. Clear? Even these are the non-finite verbs. These are the non-finite verbs. Non-finite verb, but they are here infinitive. So INFI have infinitive. Understand now? These are the examples of infinitive. Right is the example of the infinitive. Clear, students? Okay. So infinitive is over now. Clear? Infinitive is over now. So what is left? Now the second part, just I am going to start gerund. Clear? Okay. So let's begin. First, let me remove now. Then. So okay, students. Now just I am going to start gerund now. Infinitive is over. So gerund here. Gerund. Clear? As I said, the gerund is also the part of verb ing form, verb ing part, and work as a noun. The key point is the noun. Understand now? Now the example. By the example you may understand. See, the first example. Walking is a good exercise. Walking is a good exercise. Now just see. Walking. Walking is the verb, na? Walking is verb. But here working as a noun. Because the starting part, see, what is good exercise? So walking. So here walking is what? Walking is working as a noun. Clear na? See, this is the verb, and for this verb, this working as a noun, as a subject. Clear? So this is the subject of the verb here. Understand na? Here it is working as a subject. Walking is working as a subject, and this subject used as a noun. But walk is the verb. So gerund is the part of the verb and working as a noun. Clear? Now next example. That noun can also come in as a object form. Clear? So noun, the subjective form as well as the objective form also. See, I like reading story. I like reading story. See. I subject, this is the verb, and here it is an object. Object is also part of noun, but it is working as a object. Clear? This is the verb working as an object of the verb. This like is the main verb. Like is the main verb, and here this reading is gerund. This is the gerund. Gerund. Understand now? This is the gerund here, and it is working as a object. Subject, verb, object. This is the rule of the sentence of the grammar. Subject, verb, and object. So this is the object of the verb. So what is verb? Verb is like, and what is the object of the like? Reading. Clear? So reading is working as a noun here. It is working as a noun, not verb. Like is the verb. Clear? And reading is here as a object. Understood, students? So this is also gerund. Means you may understand that gerund works as a noun. Gerund also works as a object form. Clear? Object form. Object already I taught you the object. Clear? Object means direct object, indirect object. Understood now? Transitive verbs, and that object was also the part of the noun I taught you. The same thing. But here the object is the verb, but it is working as a noun. That's why this is the gerund. Is it clear? Second example is clear. Now third example. She is fond of fond of swimming. Now see, she is fond of swimming. Gerund also works after the preposition. So this is the after preposition. See, of is here preposition. So after of, if verb ing part comes, that is also known as a gerund. Clear, students? This is also gerund. Verb if after preposition comes, that is also the part of the gerund. So here I just taught you that gerund is also used as a noun after the preposition. So it is working as a noun after the preposition. Means of is the preposition. So if after, of, from, at, clear? If any after preposition, if you find verb ing, then you understand that verb is a gerund. Is it clear, students? Okay. Now the next example. That gerund also works as a complement. See. Now the next example I have written, her hobby is dancing. So here dancing is also the gerund, but this is a complement. It is working as a complement of the verb. This is the verb now. After the verb, I added the complement. Complement with the thing which complete the sentences. So her hobby is dancing. So dancing because the verb ing part. So this is the gerund working as a noun here, but this is a complement here. Understand that? Complementary part. So you people means you have not to find here that what is the objective part, what is the subjective part, what is the complementary part, what is the prepositional gerund. You have to understand gerund means in the sentence how many places gerund. So gerund can come as the subject part, as the object part, as the preposition part, as the complementary part. Okay, students. So today I taught you infinitive and gerund. Next part I will begin the remaining part, the participle, because the participle is also the lengthy kinds of participle is also there. Fine now. So you do the revision. There is a need to revise your video to understand better. Fine, students. And now just I am going to wind up the class. I hope you understand the part is this. So thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.